Have you ever been surrounded by people, friends, co-workers, maybe even family, and still felt completely alone? Not bored, not sad, just disconnected. What if I told you this feeling isn't a personal failure? It's something almost everyone experiences now. Even the people who look socially fulfilled. Loneliness used to mean something obvious. No friends, no one to talk to, no social life. But today, that's not how it works. You can have group chats, weekend plans, coworkers you laugh with, and still feel like no one really knows you. And that's the confusing part, because on paper, you're not lonely, but emotionally, something feels missing. So what's actually going on? Here's the truth most people never hear. Loneliness isn't caused by a lack of people. It's caused by a lack of connection. And connection is much rarer than we think. You don't feel lonely because you don't have friends. You feel lonely because you don't feel seen. Most modern friendships live on the surface. We talk about work memes plans, complaints, random updates, but we avoid fear, insecurity, doubt, loneliness itself. So relationships stay comfortable, but shallow. And shallow connections can't support deep emotions. You're sharing time, but not truth, and the brain knows the difference. Another reason loneliness is everywhere, we're all performing. We perform competence, we perform happiness, we perform being fine, even with friends. So instead of being understood, we're being observed. And when no one sees the real version of you, you start to feel invisible. You can't feel close to people who only know your highlight reel. But there's a deeper reason this feels worse than ever. And it has nothing to do with social media alone. It has to do with how we've replaced intimacy without realizing it. Here's something that sounds obvious but isn't. Being around people doesn't create connection. Shared vulnerability does. We confuse proximity with closeness. You can sit next to someone every day and never emotionally meet them. True connection only happens when there's risk. Saying something real, admitting uncertainty, letting someone see you unfiltered, and most of us avoid that because it feels unsafe. So we choose comfort over closeness. This is why even outgoing, popular people feel lonely. They're connected to many, but known by few. They receive attention, not understanding, interaction, not intimacy, and attention fades fast. Understanding doesn't. Here's the key insight. Loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about feeling emotionally unmatched. You feel lonely when your inner world has nowhere to land, when no one reflects you back to yourself. So what actually helps? Not more friends, not more plans, not more messages. What helps is depth, not volume. One honest conversation is worth more than 10 casual ones. One moment of vulnerability creates more connection than months of small talk. And yes, it feels uncomfortable at first, but discomfort is the entry fee to real closeness. If you've been feeling lonely despite having people in your life, nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're human in a world that forgot how to connect deeply. And the moment you stop asking, why don't I have more people? And start asking, where can I be more real? Loneliness begins to lose its grip. If this resonated with you, you're not alone in that either. And sometimes hearing that is the first real connection.